Herbert Wigwe and Lessons from the Living Can Learn from the Dead by Rudolph Okonkwo. It doesn't matter if the dead is Queen Elizabeth II or Herbert Wigwe or the Enugu woman who took her 3 children to a police station in Wigwe and ran into oncoming vehicle in a... If that person is dead, for real, once pronounced dead, the economic importance of the dead diminishes greatly. It doesn't matter if the dead is Queen Elizabeth II or Herbert Wigwe or the Enugu woman who took her 3 children to a police station in Wigwe and ran into an oncoming vehicle. Whether the final rise of a person is a festival or a minor gathering, the final destination is the same, deep in the ground somewhere. Not even those Indians who cremate their bodies enjoy a better fate, nor those Tibetans who scatter the bodies of their loved ones on a mountain top to decompose or leave for scavenging animals like vultures to eat. A dead person is a dead person, for real. The dead are useful for just 3 reasons. One is the body as manure for plants, whose roots are lucky to reach the burial spot. The second is for the body as food for organisms in the soil who will feast on it, oblivious of the greatness of the dead when they were alive. The third, the usefulness of any dead person is how those of us who are left, just like ants, plants, microbes, and roots, feed on the body of the stories the dead left behind. Sometimes people die, their stories get lost, and so will the lessons from their lives. When we preserve the stories and the memories of those left behind, the lessons and those stories enrich us all. People have said a lot about the stories of Herbert Wigwe, and they have emerged following the California helicopter accident that took his life and that of his wife and son. Some were fascinated by his relationship with his Redeemed Christian Church of God parish, and how the pastor wife celebrated her 60th birthday a few days after Wigwe's passing. Some were mesmerized by how he rose to become the CEO of Access Bank and one of the titans of Nigeria's business elite. For others, it was the disgusting performance of the Nigerian Senate, Godswill Akpabio, at Wigwe's funeral that made them ponder. For this piece, I want you to emphasize the story of Wigwe and Sanusi Lamido, the former CBN governor and emir of Kano. In his tribute to Wigwe, Sanusi told how Wigwe came to his rescue when Governor Abdullahi Ganduje dethroned him as the emir of Kano. According to Sanusi, Ganduje had planned to send him to exile for years, but his friend Wigwe picked him and his family, brought him up in a private jet, and brought him to Lagos. Wigwe lodged Sanusi and his family in a hotel and later rented a prepaid apartment for them. As he told the story, Sanusi wept. He was not just weeping because Wigwe saved him from shame and exile. His tears streamed from many years of interaction and deals that culminated into a relationship in which, without prompt, Wigwe knew his friend needed help and stepped in most appropriately. Poet Rod MC Cohen once wrote, "Friendship consists of being a friend, not having a friend. And so it is that friendship means loving rather than being loved. The gift that one receives for giving are so immeasurable that it is almost an injustice to accept them." I once conceived a teamwork exercise. I asked members of my team to bring out their phones. I asked everyone how many phone numbers they stored on their phones. They announced it. I asked them how many family members were there. They reported. I asked them the last time they spoke to each family member. Some could not remember. I asked them how many primary school classmates were on the phones and the last time they spoke to them. I asked them about their secondary school classmates and the last time they spoke to them. At that point, some of them were embarrassed. Some had not spoken to their parents for months. Some did not have one primary school classmate's number on their phones. It was an embarrassment for some. Right there, I told them to call somebody who would be more surprised to receive a phone call from them. I watched their faces as they made the call. In the end, I asked them who they called, what they discussed, and how it made them feel. They still talk about these experiments to this day. This experiment conclusion is found in Ubuntu philosophy. We are because you are. Even Isaac Newton captured it when he said, "If I have seen further than others, it is by standing upon the soldiers. It is by standing upon the shoulders of giants." You need to stand on the shoulders of giants to see further. I don't just meet anyone so close of a giant and climb upon their shoulders. You need to establish a relationship with them before they allow you to climb up. The peace that passes all understanding mentioned in Philippians 4 verse 7 will elude anyone who cannot or does not maintain relationships. And like charity, maintaining healthy relationships start from home. If you cannot have it with the people closest to you, chances are that you do not have it with people who you meet in the broader world. Researchers have proven that loneliness kills more than cancer. More importantly, those who are lonely, those who have 10,001 friends but live in a social isolation, have a 32 higher risk of dying early from virtually any cause than those who socially integrate with others. And this is not just physical death, but emotional and psychological death. It's a kind of death where someone is alive, but the quality of life in them is miserable and undesirable. Once we die, everything we have becomes irrelevant. The cars, okay, the moment you are pronounced dead are cars, gold, mansion, bank account, juju, and those pricey reconstructed boats become immaterial. What will take us on that long journey through space and time and immortality is what we give. Have you given enough to take you through the journey to that great beyond? Time is ticking. Are you happy today? Are you proud of the life you're living? If today is your last day, will you say you lived a worthwhile life? What impact did you have on people around you? How will they remember you? Will they talk about you the way Sanusi talked about Wigwe? Do you care about any of these things? A dead person is a dead person for real. Rudolph Ogo Okonkwo teaches post-colonial African history, Afro-diasporan literature, and Africa's Four Tales at the School of Visual Arts in New York City. He is also the host of Dr. Damage's show. His books include This American Life Self, and Children of Retired God. Among others, his upcoming book is called Why Am I Disappointed in Jesus? This piece is beautiful, sincerely, very, very beautiful. This is a call to reminder that how are you living your life? I went to a particular church. Let me end with this particular story. I went to church one particular day, so it's Catholic church, and when I got to that church, after the normal, they began what they call their service, there is mass. So they began the mass, and after the readings, they began what they call the explanation of the readings, that is the homily, where they, explain and break down the word of God that was heard. So the priest, or should I say father, in charge of that particular homily that day came out, and do you know what he said? He said, "You are going to die 1 year from now. What are you going to do?" When he saw that, everybody was puzzled. The way he broke it down, the way he explained and said, 1 year from now, what are you going to do? What is that thing that you want to do that if you have only 1 year to live, you are going to do? I know you want to explore a lot of things. I know you want to, maintain or restore relationships. I know you want to maintain relationship, to repair relationship. I know you want to spend more time with your loved ones. So he was like, go and live your life as if you're going to die in the next 365 days. And many people were shaken by that. It was a wake-up call. A lot of people said they went home. In fact, that was the preaching. That the sermon was very, very short. It was like, I have preached everything. You do come here, we preach and we preach and we talk. But you see, today's on, you have to put it into practice. So I think this is how we're meant to live our life. Living as if that day is going to be our last. Extending the hand of help to those in need. Loving others completely, wholeheartedly. If somebody, I've told you, somebody made you smile, tell the person the person made you smile. If somebody helped you, tell the person. You feel good about the person, tell the person, because you do not know the time you have left with those. Alright, on this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy.